me start recording. This is the tomato cage snowman. Move my. I'm going to have a little bit of a different angle than we usually do, so you can see everything that's going on. And I've got my comfy pants on, so don't judge. And I hope, yeah, I guess it's going to work. I need to make this a little bit bigger, though. Hold on a minute so I can.
Thank you for talking to me.
So I can see. I'm going to just mute everybody here. It looks like somebody's might have a TV or radio on. Why isn't that getting bigger here? Go ahead and unmute yourself if you have a question. I guess that's going to have to work because I can't see the top of my tree. Let me make my box big. I think you guys can see the top. It's like blocked for me for some reason because of the top of the screen. Maybe that's why. Well, we're not going to worry about looking at the top until we get to the top. So, but this is what I have so far. If you watched the video, you saw how I put everything on. What I actually did too, because I noticed when I put this is my work garland, okay? These are the pipe cleaners that are on the work garland, so they're fuzzier. It doesn't really matter because once we get done putting the mesh on, we're just going to snip those off anyway because you're not going to put ribbon on. You don't want any of those to show. But when I put these on, they were kind of sliding a little bit. So I just went ahead and I put a zip tie right around the middle and I zipped it really tight. So that kind of kept it from sliding. So then make sure you have extra pipe cleaners on hand in case we need to add more. I don't know if you saw my other post, but I actually found another roll of white mesh that I had. This is 10 inch. Now we're going to use 21 inch to do the poofs, but I found this. If you don't have any now, if you're making the tree now, don't panic. But I thought, just in case, because I've never made a snowman before. I've made a tree with the poof before, but the mesh that I used was a really heavy, thick metallic. It was called a wide foil mesh, and that covered really, really well. So I'm just thinking to myself, if I've got some gaps or it doesn't cover as well as I want it to, I cut these into 15-inch pieces so I can maybe add some ruffles in between the poofs. But we'll see as we go along. This is just sort of like a just in case thing, like I put in my post. So right now we have the work garland going all the way around. I showed you how I did that. I put pipe cleaners all around the bottom. They're about 4 inches apart. And I basically just put pipe cleaners in between where my work garland was. And we just put the work garland in between the gaps of the existing bars here. I had 3 bars going horizontally up, 3 bars going vertically. I kind of showed you in the video, if you didn't have the work garland, this is going to make it a lot easier to get the work garland, let me tell you. But if you don't have the work garland, you're going to have to, again, get floral wire and double it or triple it and just add another horizontal bar in between the ones that are already there. One here, one here, one here, and then you're going to have to add more floral wire going in between the vertical ones. So that's how I did it last year, and it can be done, but it's just a lot more prep. The work garland is a lot easier. So anyway, does anybody have any questions at all about that before we start putting the mesh on? Or like I said, just the other video that I posted in the group showed how I did that. And if you want to add lights, all you really have to do is just like you're adding lights to a Christmas tree, just kind of wrap it around, start at the bottom, wrap it around. If you want to maybe zip tie it to your bars so they don't slide, very easy. Or again, if you want to add your lights after, you just kind of tuck it in between the mesh. You can add them after too. So I've got 2 rolls of 21-inch mesh here. We probably aren't going to use both, but we may, just because I want to get really good coverage. And I don't know if you, I have another post too that I did today, and I hope you saw it, but this is my head that I'm going to be using, okay? I got it online. You can use any tree topper that you want, and he's going to have a little hole in the bottom, but you can see I stuck some floral foam in there, okay? A little block of floral foam. It was a rectangle. I cut it in half and just kind of stuck it in there because that's what we're going to use, because you can see how it's kind of pointy at the top here. We're just going to stick him right on the top. That's how he's going to stay there. So that's what the floral foam was for. And it just kind of wedged it right in there. I kind of cut it to shape. All right, Cheryl's here, Norma, Tina, Brenda, Patricia. You can just let your mesh fall right on the floor. Get it out of the way. And we're going to start at the bottom. So just like we're doing a poof, we're just going to gather it up. Give yourself a couple of inches there. I think I got this mesh from Craft Outlet, I'm pretty sure. We're just going to do poofs. I don't know if I want to do 12-inch or 10-inch poofs. Usually I just measure the first one and then I kind of eyeball the rest. So now again, when you're doing your poofs, like if you're putting it on a wreath, just go ahead and, after you lay your first one down, you're going to want to tuck the edges in. You don't want your edges to be like sticking out and your poof will look weird. But let's get this first one laid down. You can start anywhere on the bottom. And again, don't worry about that piece that's sticking out. We're just going to tuck that into the other poof when we come around. Make sure you get it nice and tight. Okay, now you're going to want to measure just to get a guideline of, whoops, there goes my sled. Okay, so let's just measure the first one just so I can get an idea. Again, like I said, kind of tuck them under a little bit if you can see that. I'm sorry for this camera angle here. I wanted you to be able to see. If I had an aerial view, you really wouldn't be able to see what I was doing that well. So I'm just going to measure this first one. I think 10 inches would be good. That looks a little bit bigger than 10 inches though. Hold on a second here. I think I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. Starting at the bottom is always kind of, there we go. Let me get this out of the way. Why the heck does this poof look so strange? It's very odd shaped, like that. Let me look at that for a minute. Just gonna try to tuck it in a little bit more. There we go. All right. So again, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. You can always take it out if it seems to be a little bit too big, a little bit bigger than the one before, a little bit smaller. You can always take it out and redo it. That's the plus of using pipe cleaners. You can always take it out and redo it. Let me look at that real quick and see. That looks pretty good. Now, remember last year when I did my tree, I actually, I went around and then I remember I went down too. So I went around and then I went down with my poofs too. So you can use the same pipe cleaner more than once because you're not going to be hitting ribbon. So if you have to go around again and put more poofs in or add ruffles, You have enough pipe cleaner to double it up. Let's put it that way. If that makes any sense. I hope it makes sense. Who do we have? Anybody else jump on here? Hey, Jamie. Mary's here. How's everybody doing? It's cold and rainy here. At least it stopped snowing. It was snowing earlier. Whoops, now this one just popped out. So make sure that you twist it enough times so it doesn't pop out on you. So when you're pulling on it, it stays put. Just kind of step back every once in a while, look at your poofs and make sure they're about the same size. Again, the pipe cleaners are about 4 inches apart. I use the same rule of thumb as if you're adding pipe cleaners to a wreath form. I was going to tell you guys that if you're worried about being able to find a tomato cage, if you have a Lowe's near you, I don't know if Home Depot does it, but someone messaged me, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and they said, well, I went to my Lowe's and they told me that they only have them out in the summer. They're not available now. That's a bunch of horse poo, excuse my language, because if you go on Lowe's website, you can order a tomato cage and you can have it delivered to the store, shipped to store. And guess what? They got to get it down for you. You ordered it, they have to get it down. They're just being lazy. They don't send them back. They don't, throw them away. They have them. They just don't want to get them out of storage. That's why they tell you, oh, they're seasonal. No, they have them. They're just put away. So if you do ship to store, go on the website or pick up in store or whatever, they have to get it down for you. So they may not be happy about it, but that's not your problem. And I was just on the website the other day and they had them on the website. I'm just stepping back and looking at my poofs, making sure they're about the same size. I got my comfy pants on. These are my Cornell pants. It says Cornell on the side. Because my daughter went to Cornell. You can see that. They're so comfy. My daughter, who went to Cornell, the one who's living in Colorado now, she just texted me this morning. She's going to Rome, Italy in March. She just bought her ticket. I'm so jealous. Both of my girls have traveled everywhere. My son, not so much. She's very excited. The tickets were pretty reasonable. They were only like $600 round trip, I think she said. So she's excited about that. I'm excited for her. You guys are very quiet tonight. Maybe because I muted you. You can unmute yourself if you want to say something. I don't mind. All right, now we're coming around to the last pipe cleaner here. Did somebody unmute themselves? I can't tell. Norma, is that you? Did you unmute yourself?
Yes.
What's up?
I just wanted to say hello. It's my first time, and I heard you say
your
everybody's quiet.
first
So
time.
I said, let me make some noise.
What's that?
I said, you mentioned everyone was quiet. So I said, let me make some noise.
Thank you, Norma. I didn't know this was your first class. Well, everybody say welcome to Norma. This is her first class. Now, Norma, you're friends with
Rhonda.
Rhonda, that's right. Rhonda said that she had brought you in. Rhonda's been with me for a while, so she gets on some live classes sometimes.
Yeah.
This poop is way too small. See, I can't see because this pipe cleaner's in the way. Hold on. I got to redo this one. Well, thank you for saying hello, Norma, and welcome. Make this one a little bit bigger. This is my last pipe cleaner on the bottom. However, because I want to be able to, if you can see under all this mesh, I want to be able to hide this little piece that I started with. So I'm actually going to go right over it. You can see this little piece here. I'm going to go right over it into that same pipe cleaner that I started on, so I can hide that cut piece. So I'm going to go right over it. Some phrase coming out here in the end. If you want to measure each poof, you can definitely do that, but I'm not going to do that. Just going to kind of eyeball it. So I'm going right over back into the very first pipe cleaner that I started with. Hard to see with all these other pipe cleaners in the way. Make sure you get it nice and tight, and you don't want it coming out. And take that cut piece, and I sort of like fold it under a little bit. Sometimes I zip tie it, but just kind of fold it under and stick it inside that last poof. So now it's gone. That cut piece that we started with is hiding inside that poof, so you don't see it. Okay. Now, we're just going to start going up the tree. Boy, this mesh is rolling all over. Okay. Let me think for a second here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go right up to the closest pipe cleaner, which just happens to be this one that's on the work garland. Okay. And kind of twist this a little bit. So some of our poofs are going to be going vertically, and some are going to be going horizontally. But I think that'll be okay. Let me just make sure I'm in the way here. Hold on. Go right up to this first pipe cleaner. And twist it in. Just like that. So now we're going up to the second row here. Now this is the work garland that I added. So again, like I said, make sure you see what I'm doing here. I'm sort of curling it under, so the seamed edges are underneath. That just makes a nicer looking poof. You can do ruffles. If you want to do a snowman with ruffles, you can do ruffles too. There's nothing, you know, ruffles would look really cute. All right, so I can't see because of the other pipe cleaners here. See, we're going to have some gaps here. I'm already seeing some gaps in here, so we're going to have to fill those in. I'm going to do that afterwards, though. I'm just going to go ahead and continue going around my work garland, and then we're going to figure out how to fill those gaps after. I'm not worried about that right now. There are ways to fix gaps, trust me. But I just want to continue around. Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a gap here. Oh, you know why? You know what happened? Okay, I see what happened. I gotta go back down to this one now. Never fear, ladies. We will not have any gaps. But let's just continue going around with what I've got on here so far. This poof is too small. Because if I have to, I can always add floral wire as well. Let me think for a second here. I'm trying to get this poof in here. I'll look at something here. Yeah, I think I might need to put some floral wire in there. But let me finish going around here. You'll see as you're doing this, you know, as you're going, what you need to do to fill in those gaps. It's sort of like you just kind of work with it as you're going. If that makes any sense. I think the reason why there was a really big gap over there was because I kind of jumped to the third level without realizing it. This is the second level down here. So yeah, this one's higher because it's actually the third level. This is the second level down here. So your poofs are a little closer together. I'm going to come around again and I'm going to fix that. When I come around the other side, we're going to fix that gap. And it will be gone because that's not going to be acceptable. You can actually spray paint your cage too if you want. If you want to spray paint it white. I've done that before. I've spray painted wreath forms before. If I have white mesh that I'm adding to the green wreath form, I've spray painted it white just to kind of help hide it a little bit more. Come here, pipe cleaner. There we go. So you could see why I kind of wanted to get my cage set up before class, because this is a lot of work adding all these poofs. And this is only a 33-inch cage. There's bigger cages you can get too if you wanted taller trees. For snowmen. So now I'm back around on the other side where I started. So I'm going to see what I can do about that gap there. Hold on a second. I came around again, and I actually am using the same pipe cleaner that I started on. So you can use the same pipe cleaner more than once. Let me look at this real quick here. Good Lord. This mesh has a mind of its own here. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, because I do have a bit of a gap in there. Hold on a second. I gotta find the floral wire that I bought the other day. I know I bought some. I've got to find it. I think I got it at Joann's. Did I get it at Joann's? Now watch, I'm not going to be able to find my brand new thing of floral wire here. And my son even saw me pick it up and he's like, Mom, what's that? Is that wire? I'm like, yeah, that's floral wire. I can't find it. So let me think for a second here. I don't know what I did with that. Bear with me, ladies. I wonder if I can use this pipe cleaner here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add another pipe cleaner to this work garland. And that's going to help me fill in this gap here. This is why I said it's important to have extra pipe cleaners on hand. I'm trying to remember where I bought that floral wire. I got it at Walmart. So where is my Walmart bag that had my stuff in it? Is this it over here? Sorry, ladies. That's not it. All right, I just added another pipe cleaner to the work garland. And I kind of sit this on its side. We're going to fill this gap in here. And I think that's going to work because I'm going to tuck it right in between these two poofs. So all I did was I added another pipe cleaner to the work garland in between the two that were already there. I'm throwing a poof in. You're going to see in a second. I'm filling in that gap. With all this mesh here. So I just added another poof right here. It's kind of hard for you guys to see. And I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back down. So like I said, you may need to do some poofs vertically, okay? So I'm going to go back down vertically to this other poof that's on the bottom, this other pipe cleaner, to fill in that gap. Like I said, you kind of have to think outside the box sometimes. I gotta sit it on its side. I apologize, ladies. I can show you what I did. So I went down vertically with that one. And then I may add some ruffles in there too to hide the rest of the gaps too. It's not going to be, you know, it's more of a challenge at the bottom because it's so wide. When you get toward the top, it's not going to be, you're not going to have any gaps when you get toward the top, obviously, because it's so close together. All right, so I went back down. Now let me see what we have here. I think I'm going to add another pipe cleaner up in there. I hope it's not this hard for you to see, ladies. I know it's. So I'm just going to go ahead and add another pipe cleaner to my work garland. You'll see as you're doing it, you know, what you need to do to fill in gaps. I'm twisting this around. I'm going to go back up vertically to this other pipe cleaner that I just added. Kind of twist it a little bit. I know it looks like a big glob of mesh right now, but now I think the one in the picture that I posted had a lot of gaps in it. I wasn't happy with the way that one looked, so this one came out. Fix that one. Okay. Now I'm going to go back down again. So I went up and now I'm going to go down. So we're doing horizontal and vertical here. And I hope I'm not confusing you guys. I have to get down here like this so I can see what I'm doing. Now, Let me see where I am here. I think what I'm going to do, instead of going up over the top, I'm just going to see if I can do this here. Actually, I do kind of have to. Because I have to get back up into the middle here. So I'm just going to kind of borrow this pipe cleaner again. I'm just going to add one more pipe cleaner right here. So I can sort of bridge over to back to where I need to be. Okay. Now I'm going to get right back up through here. Actually, I think I'm going to put one more pipe cleaner here. And I kind of knew this was going to happen. I kind of figured that as I was going along, I may have had to add more pipe cleaners. So, and you'll see as you're going along too that that's what's going to happen.
Like the way it's looking though. Really
Thank
fluffy.
you. Thanks, Miss Mimi. And again, when I'm all done with my poofs, if I may add some ruffles in here and there. We'll have to wait and see how he looks when I'm done. But my goal right now is just to get rid of those gaps. I don't want any gaps at all. So have those extra pipe cleaners handy, ladies. I don't know what the heck happened to that floral wire. I just bought it too. That's okay. So now we're back on track with our horizontal poofs. So where am I here? All right, here's my next pipe cleaner right here. And again, as you go up your tree, you're going to have less gaps because everything's, closer together. It's just so wide at the bottom. So just make sure that's nice and tight. So when you're pulling your poof out, you don't pull your pipe cleaner out too. Whew. And there's a gap there, but I think I'm going to put some ruffles in there when I get done. And that'll help fill those in too. Just like you do with a wreath. Whenever I make a poof wreath, I always add ruffles. I'm pretty sure somebody said that they got the snowman tree topper from Walmart too. And again, if you just put a little block of floral foam in there, just kind of wedge it in there, because of the way it looks kind of like a little teepee at the top here. When you zip tie your top together, if you can see that, kind of my wreaths are in the background. It's like a little teepee up there. You can just, the floral foam will just stick right on top of there. You want to put a little bit of glue in, you can put a little glue in, help them hold a little bit better, but I already tested mine out and he stuck up there pretty well. He wasn't gonna go anywhere. And I saw, Mimi, that you had asked Robin about the cinnamon brooms. I know you ladies are probably familiar with the cinnamon brooms they sell at the holidays. It's just a broom, but it smells like cinnamon. And it's, you know, when she mentioned that, I thought that's a great idea. It's a perfect size.
Never seen one.
Yep.
Until she showed it to me.
Yep. They smell really nice. People get them and they decorate them. They put bows and, you know, Christmas stuff on them, ornaments and stuff like that. You know, there's a pipe cleaner hidden down there. I didn't even see it. I wasn't going to give my snowman arms, but if you want to get, I saw somebody got like the berry stems that you can give him, you know, as arms if you wanted to. If you wanted your snowman to have arms. This time change really messed me up though. I've been getting up super, super early because my doggy would usually wake me up at like 6. So my body was more or less trained to be getting up at 6, but now with 6 o'clock, you know, it's 5 o'clock. So I've been kind of getting up at like 5 o'clock every morning. So I'm a little tired about this time of day. All right, let's see. All right, so now I'm going back, and again, I'm just going to go back and you can borrow a pipe cleaner. This one's already got a poof in it, but I'm going to go right over it because you've got a lot of pipe cleaner on there. Whoops. This is what happens when you don't twist it tight enough. It pops right out. There. You're going to be cutting all these off when you're done, so you don't want a bunch of pipe cleaner sticking out of your snowman. I'm just kind of peeking to see. Now, when I mean I'm going to come back and add ruffles, I'll show you one real quick here. Ruffles are a great way to hide gaps. Let me grab one of my pieces here. This is 15 inches, and I just, like I said, I just kind of, like you've seen me do ruffles before, I fold the edge under. Flip it over. Ruffle it. Kind of hard to see because it's white. Make sure it's even when it's in your hand. And if you see a gap, just go right in with your ruffle. Look at that. No more gap. See that? So you can have some ruffles. I don't know if you can even see it. This mesh is so light you can't even see, but I did just put a ruffle in there. This one came out. I'm twisting these tight enough. I don't know why the heck they're coming out. Okay, now we're going up the tree. So find your closest pipe cleaner, which will be this one. I'm not even sure if I'm even going to go to the next roll. Now here's the thing. If you don't want to add ruffles, get some floral wire. Even if you have the work garland, get some floral wire. Just make another bridge, I guess you can put it. Another vertical bridge and add more poofs. Very easy. The thing of it is I would double, whoops, my camera just fell. I would double or triple your wire just so it's thick. Oh, you know what? Look at that. I'm at the end of my roll. I just got done saying I don't know if I'm going to go to the next roll. I hate these staples at the end. Be very careful when you're pulling this out because I've had staples come flying across the room, and then you know where you're going to find them later. You're going to step on it. So be careful and just don't just yank it. There. Where am I here? All right, where's the next pipe cleaner? Right here. Or, you know, you don't even really, you know, let me take that back what I just said, because I just thought of something. You don't even really have to add more wire. If you see gaps, you can either add a ruffle, okay, like here's a gap right here. You can either add a ruffle, if you can see that or not, you probably can't see it, but there is a gap there. You can either add a ruffle there, or you could just go right over the same pipe cleaner with another poof. Because your pipe cleaner is long enough, you have enough room there to add another poof or add a ruffle or add whatever you want to add. So you could do that too. Very easy. I'm getting to the end of my roll here. I think I have enough to make one more poof, and then I gotta start on my next roll. Let me see what I have left on here. Yep, I think I have just enough to make one more poof. And this little piece on the end here, I'll just tuck it under. Tuck it inside the other poof, just like I started. Okay, let me have a roll here. Where is it? My camera keeps falling. There we go. Let's see, where did I end up here? Right here. I'm just going to, what do I want to do here? I think I'm going to start, I'm going to go right over this pipe cleaner here. Because I want to be able to hide that one piece that I'll just tuck this under here like that. And then this little piece I have here, I'm going to tuck it under this poof. Put it right inside. You know, if you're the kind of person that needs like perfection in wreath making or in any project you're doing, poofs are probably not for you because you're never going to get a perfect poof. Somebody's chatting me here. Oh, she said congratulations to something, Norma. I don't know what you're saying congratulations to. I don't know what the congratulations is for. I'm sorry. I'm confused. Well, it's not that hard to confuse me. That's a big poof. So that looks all right. Don't look for perfection in poofs. Let's see. You know what? I think I'm actually going to go down and use this. Well, you know what? I don't want to do that yet because I'm going to show you another little trick when we get done. And I did this last year with the poof tree that I did. It wasn't a snowman. It was actually a tree. And there was another trick that I did when I got done going around vertically. And it worked out really well. So I'm thinking maybe I can do it with this too. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have enough mesh. There's a big old gap right there, but I'm not even going to touch that yet because I want to show you guys something. A neat little trick. Oops. Dang it. You think you have it tied tight. It still pops out. I know there's gaps, but I'm going to show you guys something. I'm not even sure if you can even see them in all this white mesh, but I can see them. I think I'm going to try that same little trick I did last year with my other tree. Linda's here. Hey, Linda. I just saw that your name up there.
Hi, I came in late.
How are you?
Fine, and it's looking good.
Thank you so much. It's very poofy. I guess it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah. Gonna have a large snowman.
Yes. I don't even know where the heck I'm going to put him. I think I'm going to bring him to the craft show. I'm going to bring him to my craft show.
When is that?
December 7th.
You have most of your wreaths or things you have to bring ready?
I do. I have to make a bunch of candy canes though.
Okay.
So, right now where am I here? I think I need to add another pipe cleaner here. I forgot to put one here, so I'm going to stick one right here because I want to use that spot. Now, like I said, this is a vertical bar. I'm putting this pipe cleaner on, and I don't want it to slide, and it is sliding. So what I do is I just take a zip tie. I can get it open here. And I just kind of, you can see the pipe cleaner here. I just kind of go around the middle and I zip tie it to the bar, and it kind of helps to hold it in place too, so it doesn't slide just a little bit. Let me snip that off. There. We're actually almost to the top here. Whoops. Get nice and tight.
With making your poofs going up and down, you're like starting from the top going down and going back up. Would it
I'm
make
gonna do it. I'm gonna do that too. You just stole my secret.
Oh. Well, no.
That's what I did. That's what I did last year. I went around horizontally, and then I went after I had all my horizontal poofs. I went up and down
Yeah.
in between, and that helped to cover the gaps too.
But I wonder if you started
Started that way. It's very possible. That's a good idea. But I think you'd still have gaps though. I think you still have to kind of do both. You have to do horizontal and vertical. But I want to add ruffles too.
But
What's that?
your horizontal ones would be over your vertical, and it wouldn't make it poofier, you know.
That's true too. You guys do your tree any way you want, or your snowman. You don't have to do it vertically first. You can do it or horizontally. You can do it vertically. There's a big old gap right there. I want to cover that.
No, I didn't get mine. So
I've never seen it done vertically. I've only ever seen it done horizontally. So.
Well, I'm just imagining it. I don't know.
No, that's great. That's fine. You know, you have a different perspective. I'm sort of like standing in front of it and you're watching me, so you may see it differently than if I was sitting and watching myself instead of actually doing it.
Yeah, I wouldn't guarantee that it would work.
What's that?
I said I wouldn't guarantee that it would work. Doing
That's
it.
a good idea. Yeah. Hold on a second here. This is why I want. I don't know how this poof got messed up here. Hold on. Because I don't want my poof to be there. Lopsided. So I have a lot of mesh left over here. We're going to use it. Oh, my arms are getting tired.
That one's up in the air.
What's that?
You have to work up in the air.
Yes.
Need a lower table.
I know. Well, it's a good size for making reeds, but
Yeah.
not so much for tomato cages.
Yeah.
So this is why, see, this poof got messed up. Hold on. This is why you kind of got to try to, there we go. When you're tying it in, be careful because it kind of messed it up. So I want to curl my ends in. There we go. That's better. Okay. Here's a little pipe cleaner here. And then I got the one at the top. I got one more at the top here. You know, I gotta, ladies, just hold on one second. I gotta put it down on the floor just for 1 minute, just so I can get this one at the top, because it's hard for me to see with it up on the table. Just 1 second. There. I just want to get that one at the top. Now, what I'm going to do is I still may add ruffles too, because I have the extra pieces. I'm going to go down vertically in between the poofs, and that's going to take care of any gaps too. This is what Linda was trying to say, but I'm doing it like my mom used to say, bass backwards. Just anybody heard that phrase before? You're doing it all bass backwards. How dumb is that? All right, so I'm going to go down vertically. So you can see I have a line of pipe cleaners right here. If you can see, I don't know if you can see because it's just, this mesh is so light. I'm going to start going down vertically right over the pipe cleaners that are already there. And we're going to fill in those gaps. And this is what I did with my tomato cage tree last year. And it worked out really well. But as Linda said, if you want to start out doing it vertically, you know, I don't see really why you can't do that. Of course. Whatever works for you. Let's put it that way. And it's filling those gaps right in. This one, I think I need to put a pipe cleaner in there though. There's just a random spot here that isn't going to work. Hold on a second. I'm just going to throw a pipe cleaner right in there. Where'd it go? There it is. No more gaps.
Yeah, it fills it in.
Yes, it does. I might even be able to take that one ruffle on. I might not even need that ruffle once I get over to that spot. Just want to make sure this is tight enough so it doesn't come out. Looks like a big white blob on the camera.
No, it looks like the bottom of a wedding dress.
I know it does. You're right. It does. Oh my goodness. Well, when I get the head on him, it'll look like a snowman, I hope.
I think it will.
is kind of a weird looking poop. Let me tuck that in. There we go. Where are we now? I don't think there's any gap over there. So I'm going to kind of go over this way and see what we have. All right, I'm going to kind of move over here now. I'm going to sneak around because there's a big old gap right there, and I know you guys can see that. We
Yeah.
gotta cover that up. So I'm going to kind of go kitty corner here. I'm going to cross over. I'm going to borrow this pipe cleaner. You got to do what works, ladies. You know what I mean? Nothing is perfect. But I think it looks pretty darn nice so far. So now I got to go. I don't think I need anything down here. I got to go back up again. Actually, I'm going to go, which way do I want to go? I got to fill in this spot over here. So I'm going to move over one more time. I'm going to jump up to this pipe cleaner here. Just like that. And I'm going to go back up again. Which isn't as easy to do as it is going down, as I'm finding out. Hold on. I just don't want to lose my poofy shape here. There we go. I'm going to go up to this pipe cleaner here.
Everybody must be working on their tomato cage because I don't hear them.
Oh. Sometimes I forget you guys are even there. I get so involved with what I'm doing. I get so focused. It's like, wait a minute. All right, there's that one. I gotta cover this big old gap here. Not as easy going up as it is going down. Trust me. But I can do it.
You get tangled up in the mesh.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I covered that one up. Let's see. I'm going to go over here and borrow this one. You guys are going to see when you start yours what you need to do. There's no gap there, so now I'm going to go back down again. Which is a lot easier than going up again. Okay. I got a pipe cleaner right here. Do I want to put it in that one? I want to skip that. I'll put a little tiny one in that one. That one's just too tiny. It looks weird. I gotta make it a little bigger. I told you guys this was an involved process. I remember last year I did the ruffle tree in class. It was with green mesh. And I don't think we even finished it in the class. But then I had a lot of my members say to me, well, I thought you were going to do a poof. I'm like, okay. So I went ahead and recorded a tutorial doing the poof. So everybody got 2 videos for the price of 1. Because I got to make everybody happy. That's my goal. Right, Linda?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's my problem. I spend too much time trying to make everybody else happy that, oh, let's see.
You doing all the work and I'm just looking on.
That's okay.
I want to put my hand in there, but I can't.
Uh-oh, why? You got to fix something?
No, I said I could have helped.
Oh, that's all right.
You're a little
I really
bit.
wasn't referring to you guys. I was referring to my family. I'm always doing stuff for my family, and then when I need something, nobody's around. They disappear.
You have a large hole right there.
What's that?
You have a large hole to your right.
No, I see it. I see it.
Your arms are gonna be tired by the end of the night.
Hope we don't run out of mesh. If I run out of mesh, I'm going to have to start using ruffles. I don't think I'm going to run out.
And instead of doing that too, you could have just put ruffles all over.
Yeah, ruffles are definitely easier to do in a
Yeah.
tree. I've done ruffles, and I did my fall tree doing ruffles.
Even some of that new technique you showed us the other night, the curl and the ruffle.
Yeah.
That filled it up.
Uh-huh. You know what? I gotta go down to this one because there's a gap here. I gotta go down to this one instead, and then I'll go up.
Christina, that's gonna be a very huggable snowman.
Huggable. Thanks, Mimi. I'm getting to the end of my roll, but I think I'll be good after I go back up this one row. I think I'll be good, and then if I have to add ruffles in a couple of places, I can add some ruffles in. Not as easy going up as it is going down. Again, like I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lay it down. So just bear with me for 1 second, because going up is not easy. So we're going to lay it down. So I can go up this one last side with some poofs. Sorry, ladies. I'm to the end of my row here. My roll. You take that off. What time do we have here? 9:14. I hate these staples. Oh. Come on. It doesn't want to come out. There we go.
Is that just a plain white mesh?
This is, it's a metallic. There's a white
Metallic?
metallic running through it.
Oh, okay.
It actually looks kind of pinkish, but it's not really pink. No, I can't really tell. It said when I ordered it, it was a white metallic or white foil, they call it.
Mm. I
You
see
know what
some
it
of
was? It was called iridescent. That's the word they used. It was a white mesh with an iridescent foil strip running through it.
yes, because they show some of them, they have like a little pinkish
Yeah,
line going
it looks
through.
kind of pinkish, but it's actually called iridescent now, like I said, if I can recall when I ordered it. I think I'm going to be able to get one more poof in here with this roll. So I did end up using 2 full rolls here, ladies, of the 21-inch, just to get adequate coverage here. And make sure that your pipe cleaners are really twisted good before you start snipping them off. Or you're going to have poofs flying out everywhere. All right, I have to try to tuck this piece in somewhere. Give me 1 second. I'm going to kind of roll it around and tuck it in. And I'll stand it back up so you can see it. Okay. Whoops. Camera. Now that my 21-inch mesh is all used up, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it a little bit and see if I do need to add some ruffles here and there to kind of fill in. I think I pretty much covered it very well here. And I'm just looking. I might need to put a ruffle in here. I think I need to put a pipe cleaner in here. That's what I need to do. Yeah, Robin, I remember Robin actually already made hers last night, and she said she had to end up adding some ruffles. So I'm just throwing the pipe cleaner in here. Now again, if you, I think I said this in my video that I posted today, if you plan on adding lights to yours, the lights actually, the wire for the lights, you can actually put pipe cleaners on that too. So if you're putting your poofs on and you see a gap and you see your wire there for your lights, you can put a pipe cleaner on that too. You see something to put a pipe cleaner on, then use it. I'm going to put 2 ruffles here. Let's see. I'm going to put one up here. I think it needs one here. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. I got to move my camera. I'm at the top of my tree here, or my snowman. This I'm going to kind of tuck around like that. I don't want that big ruffle popping up off the top. So I'm going to kind of tuck it in a little bit. Just like that. I'm just looking. This one's coming out. I gotta tighten this. So I'm not gonna make you guys watch me put ruffles in and fill in gaps. It's gonna take all night. But you get the idea. You know, just work with what you have. Keep filling it in until you don't see any more gaps. I'm probably going to add more ruffles, but again, I don't want to keep you guys watching me all night while I do that. I'm going to snip off some of these cleaners near the top because I'm not going to need them anymore. Again, make sure that they're twisted tight before you snip them off, or you're going to have poofs popping out everywhere. Now, I'm just probably going to use red ornaments for his buttons. What you kind of have to do is you kind of have to look at your snowman and see what his most attractive side is, and then use that use that side for his front. Hold on a second here. I'm going to put a ruffle over here. You got to find his best side, and that can be the front. But I want to show you an easy way. If you do plan on using ornaments for his buttons, instead of gluing them, just go ahead and, you know how your ornaments have the little hole, you know, for you to hang it on your tree. You just slip a pipe cleaner through that, and so I'm actually tucking my ruffles in. I'm not letting them, like, where's that ruffle? I think instead of letting that pop out like that, I'm just going to kind of tuck it in so it looks more like a poof. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just to fill in that gap. Just like that. I'm going to clip that off. So let me show you what I mean by the ornaments, but I think you kind of know what I mean. I'm going to be working on him for quite a little while, but first of all, let me see where his good side is, because I want to kind of show you how I'm going to put the buttons on, or the ornaments. Put a ruffle there or no? I'm going to throw one more ruffle in there, because I think I want this to be his front side. This is his good side. Again, I'm sort of like taking the ruffle and I'm curling it in so it looks like a poof. And that's working out pretty well. I like that. All right, let me show you first let's put the head on. Let me put his topper on. I gotta cut this off too. Maybe I'll just wind this around like that. Okay. Yeah, I like this side. Let me clip this off here. I'll just tuck it around. All right. So again, I got this online, but I want to say that I got it off of Walmart.com. It was like $10. Super cute. Just took a little piece of floral foam. You can see I already stuck it through the top there, and just kind of wedged it in there. And it'll just stick right into the top of your cage because they're pointy on the top. See that?
Mm-hmm. I saw one at the store this morning.
You saw it at the store, is that what you said?
Yes, at Walmart.
Now, I want to put a little scarf on him too.
I think the one I saw at Walmart had like a collar.
It had a what?
It had a collar.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one didn't have a collar. But I'm gonna put, now, I found this ribbon, because if you look at his hat, you can see closely at his hat there. Well, it's almost like a snowflake pattern there. And I can't fit this whole thing in here. I found this ribbon, it's a snowflake pattern.
Oh, perfect.
I'm thinking about maybe using that for his scarf. And it's funny because it was sitting right on top of my pile of ribbon that I had. And I thought, wait a second. I love this ribbon. I love it. It's got the fuzzy on the end.
Yeah, I think you'll match the hat. Oh yeah, that's cute.
Let me see here how this is going to work. That's going to be way too long.
You can't push his head down more?
No, I don't think it's going to go down anymore, but I know the look that I'm trying to go for. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do it here. This ribbon is kind of wide. I just sort of want to like drape down on the side like that. Sorry, I got to get right in front of them for 1 second, ladies. Just like a little side scarf. That's all I really wanted to do. Just give them like a little, I like that snowflake pattern too. I like that. What do you think?
That's cute.
You like that?
Well,
I don't know if I want to dovetail it though. I think I just kind of want to.
He's adorable.
Aw, thank you, my dear. Is he still huggable?
Yes, yes.
Look at that face. But I want to give him some buttons too. Don't look at all my pipe cleaners if you can see those. I love this ribbon. I love this fuzzy on the edge. Oh, I love that. But it matches his hat. I saw that and I thought, wait a second. And I showed my daughter, I'm like, that matches his hat. Okay, and let me show you a little trick. These might be a little bit too small, I don't know. I had these too, but I don't know. These things. I think I want red. I think those are just a little bit too big. I want red. You could actually take your, I'm going to use these, I think. You could take your ornament and get a pipe cleaner and just go right through the edge or the little hook there, like that, and then just go right through and attach it to your tomato cage. Or you can glue it, whatever you want to do. It might be kind of hard to reach in there to get that to stay too. So I think I may just glue it. I really like his little scarf. So you can just go ahead and add. I might need to get bigger ones. I might need to find some bigger ones. I don't know if these are going to be big enough. I'm trying to get it to stay, and it won't stay unless I glue it. I want to just kind of stick it in there so I can see how it looks, and it won't let me do that. You think these are going to be big enough, or should I get bigger ones? Or maybe I won't even put buttons at all. I kind of just like it with the scarf like that. Maybe I won't even put ornaments on for buttons because it's going to get in the way of his scarf.
I like the scarf.
You think I need to put buttons on too, or just like that?
No buttons, just like that.
Yeah, I think so too. I like it with just the scarf.
Yeah, I have a harder time trying to put the ornament.
Yeah, because I think if I put the ornaments on, then I'm not going to be able to see his scarf, and I want to be able to see his scarf. The scarf's going to cover the ornaments. So I don't know. It's a work in progress, ladies. I may add buttons. I keep trying to get a good view of him for you so you can see. I'm still working on them. I may add some more ruffles. I may add some buttons. We'll see. But I'm kind of tired. My arms are kind of tired.
That was a lot of work.
Yeah, these are a lot of work. And he looks a little lopsided, so I think I kind of need to fill him out in some spots here. I think I need to add a little bit.
Or put him some arms.
Yeah, I gotta figure out what I can use for arms. So, but I think I'm gonna call it a night. You can see that it is a little bit of, it is a little bit of work, but take a break. You don't have to do it all in one night like I did. So that's it. I may still put lights in too. You could actually put lights in after and just tuck them in between the poofs. As long as you have the white wire, they're not going to show. So, and I'm going to snip all these off too. But anyway, I'm going to call it a night, ladies. Thanks for joining me.
Okay,
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Have a great night. I'm trying to hold the camera here so you can see. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.